We're going to take a look at forms and go over the basics of how they function. They're fairly simple, something you should be able to pick up fairly quickly, and you can experiment with them and discover some additional functionality as you go along. We're going to take a look at the form we already have set up, and it's called Send Us an Email. Click on Edit, and we can take a look at how it is structured. Here over on the left side, then we have the elements that are part of the form. We have the first name and the last name, the email and phone, and how can we help you. And we have these different sections. All that you have to do to be able to add new elements to this is click on one of these over here and drag it over, and you can have it say whatever you want it to say. And so in this case, we have a single line of text that we have as an option for them to be able to fill out, and we say, tell us about your friends. And then we have it in there, and we can click required if we want it to be a requirement. We can have a maximum number of characters if we don't want them to go crazy. If we want to have a drop down menu, then it's easy enough. You drag the menu over there, click on here, and you can say how much do you want, let's see, how much do you know about Jesus? And then we say a lot, a little, not sure. And then we say that it's required also. We have some other options up here where we can change the size of it so it's bigger or smaller. We can go into the advanced part here, and we can mess around with conditional logic or some default values, different things that we can do here, and you can experiment with that. But the basics are just find something over here, drag it into place, and then when you want to see what it looks like, then the natural thing to do would be to click preview, and you would think, oh, all these changes we've been making, these are going to appear over here under the preview, but then we find this is actually identical to what it was originally. One of the things you need to watch out for with this is the only way to be able to definitively preview what you have done is to click Update Form, which makes it live on the website. And so you want to be sure that you're not doing anything too terribly bizarre, like putting in fields that you don't really want people to be answering. Now, if you don't want to save this, it's simple enough. You just leave without saving it, and nothing has been changed, nothing has happened that will hurt you. We go over here to Form Settings. And under Form Settings, then we can set the title for the form. And right now we have it as Send Us an Email, but we could call it whatever we want it to be called. Down at the bottom right now it says Submit, and we could leave it as Submit. There's plenty of data that says that that having Submit as a part of a button drastically reduces the number of people who will actually fill out a form and submit it. And so we're going to change that over to Send It right now. You could also have an image be in that spot where they click an image instead of clicking on words. We want it to be that anti-spam honeypot is enabled, and also that animations are enabled. Those are both good things to always have set on your forms that you create. We go over to confirmations. This is what happens after you fill out the form. And so this is what they will see. We're going to edit this, and we can see right now that it says in this text area here, thank you for contacting us. We will get in touch with you shortly. Thanks for contacting us. We will get in touch with you shortly. You can edit this just like you would any other part of your website. And so you can center it, make it bold, make it have a link, whatever you want it to be. Then it's very easy to do. And we can change the words, add in images, anything that you'd be able to do in a post or a page, you should be able to basically do here. You can also set it to redirect to a certain page or to an external URL. I'm going to leave that as it is right now. Now under notifications here, then we have an admin notification. This means that when they fill out the form, what's going to happen with that entry afterward? How will it be that someone knows this has happened? And we click on Edit, and we can see how it's set up presently. It's connected with the admin email, which is set as my email address right now, not the way we want it to be long term. And so we need to be sure that we have the right email address in here. Obviously, in this time that we're in between, then if I got any submissions, then I would forward it on to you. And but we want to set that up however we need it. And for the from email here, then it would be natural to have email chosen if people fill that out. And so we're going to have that as an option there. And the send to, we're going to have it as admin for now. We'll change that over to whatever it needs to be changed over to in the future. Down here we have the subject, and you can change it to say something else if you prefer for it to be something other than just new submission from the form title. Right now we have it set to all fields being included within that email, which is probably how we're going to want to keep it. But we wouldn't necessarily have to keep it in that way. You could change it to just certain fields being included. If you ever want to look at entries, you can look at them from here by clicking on entries, and we can see that right now we don't have any. You can also click over here on this side and click on entries from there or from within the list of forms. Then you can see if there are any entries, and then you can click here and see what they are. We have some other options over here with it, some settings, some add-ons. If you ever find you're wanting to do something more with it, then you can feel free to experiment, or if you have questions, you can ask us. There's plenty of opportunity to include email capturing type systems on here, PayPal, and other nice features as you find the need for them. If you ever want to create a new form, then you can simply click New Form, and it functions just as it would on the form that we were editing, but now we're going to add a title for a new form. You can have a description, but you don't have to. Now we're here within this, and we add all the elements from this right side that we want to add. Now if you want to insert this on a page, you can find a shortcode and insert it, but for the most part you're just going to want to be doing it by clicking this nice little handy button that's at the top of every page or post, and you click Add Form. And then it's easy enough to just select the form, choose whether you want the title, choose whether you want the description. You should typically enable Ajax, click Preview, and you will see that it appears just as it should within this page. You can also do that for the home page or for the sidebars. If you ever want to add a new form on those, then there is a simple widget, and we cover this in more detail in a moment, but you should know that over on the left side here with widgets, then we have a forms widget that you can drag. Well, there we go. Drag over here, select the form you want, have a title, all those things, and so for the most part that's how you're going to be dealing with inserting forms into the website. If you have questions about the forms system that we have in place here, feel free to call us, send us an email, whatever you need to do, and we will be glad to help you out.